A very good evening, I'm Nigel Walrond here at the Coliseum, the home of the Plymouth Gladiators, for tonight's British Under-21 semi-final. We've got 16 of Britain's, some of the top racing talent in Britain racing here tonight, battling it out to finish in the top 10 and qualify for the British final at Glasgow in June. Ashton BOUGHEN is one of the hot favourites this evening. Sam Hagen as well, who won the British Under-21 semi-final up in Cumbria last season, and Ben Trigger, former Plymouth Gladiator, now with Redcar, who came second in that meeting at Workington in 2023. But there's also some really promising youngsters hoping to make a mark on this title, and we're set for a fantastic evening of racing.
So here we are with Sam Hagen from the Pool Pirates. You've had a track walk, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, not bad. Definitely the right call from Plymouth for letting it go with all the rain we've had, but I would say it looks alright. It'll be a bit greasy on the outside, but then on the inside I think it'll be okay, and then it should hopefully be some later. So.
Yep. How many times have you ridden here before?
Twice.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd been many times. What's your expectations for the meeting?
Obviously I won it last year, but I don't really care if I win it or not. I just want to qualify, and my aim is to win the actual final. So it's, you know, it's just salvage as many points as I can, try and make starts, and if it doesn't work, just salvage a second, third, even fourth, because 10 qualify, so I need to salvage as much as I can.
Brilliant. Well, good luck, and we'll hope to speak to you later.
Cheers.
Here we are with Ben Trigger from the Redcar Bears. You've had a look at the track, somewhere you're familiar with. What's your thoughts?
I think the track looks good, you know, with the amount of rain we've had. So, yeah, I mean, overall, the track's pretty firm, and, you know, should produce some good racing, especially with the new added addition to 3 and 4. So I'm looking forward to riding tonight. Obviously,
starts are going to be crucial here tonight. What are your aims for this evening?
You know, just to try and, you know, improve, get us set up for a future in the year. You know, but tonight's goal is just to get as many points as I can, and obviously qualify for the final in Glasgow in June.
Obviously, here in your hometown of Plymouth, do you feel the added pressure of all your hometown fans here?
Oh, you know, there's always a bit of pressure, you know, riding at your home track, but, you know, I try not to let it get to me. And, you know, I had a season here last year, so, you know, it's the same fans as it was last year, and hopefully they can just push me on to do well tonight.
Well, we wish you all the best. Hopefully see you later on for another interview.
Yeah, cheers, Ben.
So the lineup for tonight's British Under-21 semi-final here at the Coliseum. Number 1, Sam Hagen, who won the Under-21 semi-final up at Workington last season, piling up the points to pull this season. Number 2, the youngest rider in the field, Stene PIJPER, who turned 15 early this month. Number 3, Ashton VALE. Number 4 is the oldest rider in the field, 20-year-old Chad Wirtzfeld. Number 5, Senna SUMMERS. Number 6, Ashton BOUGHEN, one of the favourites to win the meeting this evening. Number 7, Freddy HODDER. Number 8, Ben Trigger, of course, with the Gladiators last season, now up at Redcar. Number 9, another rider set to do well tonight, Killeen. Number 10 is Micky SIMPSON. Number 11, Luke Harrison, who was here last week. Number 12 is Max James. 13 is Sam McGURK. 14 is Vinnie FOORD, 15 Jody SCOTT, and 16 Sonny SPRINGER. The reserves this evening are Kai Ward and Eli MEADOWS.
But very warm welcome to the Plymouth Coliseum for tonight's qualifier of the British Under-21s. We've had a fair bit of rain here today in Plymouth, but it has stopped from about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and it has the track's not looking too bad, all things considering. So racing will resume tonight, which is good. Just looking down through what is the home pitch usually, but everyone's a bit spread out tonight. You can see Sam Hagen there, who rides for the Pool Pirates and Bellevue Colts. Should get on quite well tonight. He's used to the tight tracks, doing a lot of training at Lakeside and Eastbourne back in his younger days. Say his younger days, he's still very young now, obviously. See Luke Harrison there, who rides for Scunthorpe, and Sheffield and Scunthorpe joint in the National League, and Ben Trigger. Obviously, he was a Plymouth lad, rode for Plymouth last year, but this year is signed up to Redcar and Middlesbrough. There we have Sam McGURK, younger brother of Harry McGURK, who of course is a former Plymouth Gladiator as well. So yeah, there's a little bit of track experience here tonight from some of these guys. See Max James there, who rides for Leicester, also Edinburgh in the Championship. He had a really good meeting here a couple of years ago, actually, in another youth round meeting, and from what I remember, he won the meeting as well, but looked very good, took to the track very well. Obviously used to Leicester, it's quite a different size track, but fairly tight still. So Yeah, it should make for quite a good meeting. With the riders we've just seen so far, a lot of them got a lot of experience on these sort of tighter circuits and been riding a lot of championship in recent years. So they got that experience on a slightly tricky tracks with the obviously the track condition as it is with the rain we've had today. Looking at the rider lineup, let me see. Sam Hagen there again. There's number 2 there is Stene PIJPER, the younger brother of Ace PIJPER and son of former rider Theo PIJPER. Ashton VALE, who rides for Oxford. You see Chad Wirtzfeld, he's been around. Well, I always think Chad's actually a little bit older than he is because he's been around for quite a while, but he rides very well around here. He's had a fair bit of experience around here in the past, so he could be definitely be a contender for tonight's meeting. I think these early races especially will all be about getting out the gate and keeping your lens clean, but easier said than done obviously when the tapes go up. Just walking out onto the track slightly now, looking else down the line, we can see Luke Killeen there, rides for Oxford in both the National League and Championship. He had his debut National League meeting here 2 years ago actually and got I think it was an 18-point maximum. Went through the card unbeaten, very impressive, so definitely one to look out for tonight. A little bit of drizzle coming down again, but there is some blue behind the dark. So we're going out with the rider parade now. You can see Sam Hagen leading the bunch. We've got there Freddy HODDER that rides for Bellevue Colts and the Berwick Bandits. Vinnie FOORD, former Eastbourne mascot, now rides for the Leicester Lion Cubs. Had a couple seasons now at Leicester, seems to be fitting in very well. And while the lads are getting ready, I'm going to pass you back up to Ben and Neil back up in comms.
Thank you very much, Mattie, and welcome up to the commentary box here. Delighted to be joined by Plymouth Gladiators star Ben Barker, and it's amazing for starters. We must say well done to the Plymouth promotion and the track staff for getting this meeting on, because anyone living down this neck of the woods today, it's rained most of the day. Not heavy rain, admittedly, but it's been persistent rain, and the track, bearing in mind, is looking very good.
Yeah, the track is looking very good. It's going to be a little bit difficult to begin with, I believe, but that may be for a couple of races until the top comes off, and then it'll make a great surface, hopefully for some great passing and to show this great British talent we've got on show.
And some of these riders will have ridden this track before, but obviously I think only Luke Harrison last week will have ridden it with the developments that have been made to Ben's 3 and 4.
Yeah, definitely, and you can see what the changes have done, because if this was last season and we'd had this rain, Ben's 3 and 4 would be underwater. There's no two ways about it. So the track changes have definitely helped. It's really packed hard, and the banking, the water has just run off the banking into the new drainage system, and it's all system goes for tonight's meeting.
Just looking at the riders as they're being introduced to the crowd. It's Senna SUMMERS, of course, the son of Aaron Summers, who great experience at the top flight of British Speedway. Ashton BOUGHEN, he's got to be one of the big contenders tonight, hasn't
for
he?
Sure, he's a fantastic starter, riding in all 3 leagues. That should prove dividend, I feel.
Freddy HODDER, who's another very good up-and-coming rider, and an interesting number 8, Ben Trigger, back here, having spent last season in the championship here with the Gladiators. He'll be one of those who'll be experiencing those new bends for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. But like I say, last week they didn't ride overly different, although it's a fairly different shape. But it rode quite similar. But hopefully, as the season goes on, it'll progress better and better racing with more lines.
Luke Killeen, of course, on his first visit to this track back in the National League, an absolutely storming night. It had injury problems last season. Micky SIMPSON, Luke Harrison, one of the riders who was here last week. So he'll be benefiting from that experience. Max James, he's a rider who really impressing me at the moment. He seems to have come from nowhere in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of British youngsters that I haven't really seen much of, and then all of a sudden they've just come onto the scene, and like they're starting to surprise me. So hopefully the future is bright for British Speedway.
Vinnie FOORD, Leicester rider, but he missed the semi-final last year, broke his wrist, I think, the night before the meeting. I was at that Leicester meeting before travelling up to Workington, and very disappointing for the young man that afternoon. But
they were looking at Jody SCOTT there, number 15. Seen a lot of him when I was at Kings Lynn. He was the mascot at Kings Lynn, and what a talent on a bike. Fantastic style, and big things for him in the future, I believe.
We've got the two, Sonny SPRINGER there, and we've got the two reserves, Kai Ward and Eli MEADOWS. And just on the track, you obviously took a liking to it last week with a 18-point paid maximum. Has been delighted with that.
Yeah, you know, like I say, the track rode very well. It was a really good first meeting for myself and the Gladiators as a whole. We're out at number 1 at the moment, but all the boys are digging deep. The Thompson twins have come in and hit the ground running and are doing a great job. And talking about British youngsters, there's 2 British youngsters there that are doing great things.
And of course the Thompson twins aren't here tonight because they're among the 6 riders seeded to the British Under-21 final, which takes place at Glasgow on Sunday, June the 2nd. The 2 Thompsons, Dan and Joe, Leon Flint, Ace Piper, Jake Mulford and Nathan Ablett have all been seeded through. And the aim tonight, 16 riders, finish in the top 10, isn't it? And you reach that final in June.
That's what it's all about. I've done many of these meetings when I was up and coming, and my dad drilled it into my head when I was going to the meeting. No one talks about who wins the British semi-final. We all talk about who wins the British Under-21 final. So for me, steady rides, score points in every race, and if you score points in every race, you should be in the top 10.
Yeah, it was interesting at the Under-21 semi at Workington last year. There were a host of riders sort of aiming for top spot, but as the meeting went on, you could see those riders sort of choosing, let's just stick with what I've got rather than risking it, just to make sure they got into that top 10.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just watching the boys here having a quick practice, and you can just see how quick that this is going to turn over into a great racetrack. You know, it's very hard underneath, and Mark done a great job in the winter getting this surface down like he did. I know we had a delayed start to the season, but I think it's proving well worth it now.
Yes, that was a very sensible decision to make sure this track was right. Didn't want a disastrous start where there was all sorts of problems and things like that you don't recover from, do you? So it's good to get it right from day one and press on there for the rest of the season.
If we rush the start of the season, you could end up putting yourself back 4 to 6 weeks and really be struggling. But I think they've done it the right way around, and things are looking good for the Gladiators down here at the Coliseum.
Stene PIJPER just turned 15, I think 15 days ago, so he's only just become eligible for this, but obviously a rich talent in the family with Theo, the dad, and his brother Ace.
Yeah, that's it. You know, Ace is doing good things up at Glasgow, and if I'm honest, Theo was a great rider, and you know, and when I say in his day, I mean I do know that Theo hasn't retired by any amount. I was only speaking to him before the meeting, and if the right position came up that didn't clash with his son's racing, he would take the position. So Theo still wanted to have a go, and he was a good rider.
Yeah, definitely. And as Mattie was saying, Chad Wirtzfeld, he's only 20, he's the oldest rider in the field tonight, but as Mattie said, it feels like he's been around a long time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And there's a couple of riders that you can see, like we were saying, there's a couple of riders that you can see, like, you know, Ben Trigger is probably the most experienced in the field when I was speaking to you before, having a whole season of championship racing under his belt at the Coliseum. So, you know, hopefully that will help him tonight. But then there's a lot of riders that I haven't seen much of, and then in the last 6 months or 8 months at the end of last season, they all come roaring onto the scene.
Senna SUMMERS, of course, the son of Aaron, who's obviously well known to British Speedway fans, great servant to many clubs.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron's rode for many clubs. I've had a lot of good battles with Aaron in my times, and
Coventry Bees, wasn't he? At one
yeah,
point,
we were Coventry. We've had some great battles. But you know, I think he's back in Australia now as Aaron. I think I'm right by saying that, and enjoying his retirement from Speedway.
Just on Coventry, fantastic news during the winter over that planning situation, and as a former commentary rider, I bet you'll be delighted if we ever get Speedway back at Brandon.
Brandon, I'm not going to lie, you know, it was a great place, and I rode there with some great people. The late Colin Pratt, you know, who's a great help in my career. And then recently the passing of John Clark from Build Base, who was a massive supporter of the Coventry Bees, and thoughts to all his families.
So the reserves are just having a little tryout. The main 16 have gone back into the pits to get ready for the opening 4 heats. The reserves tonight, Kai Ward and Eli Meadows, just having a breeze around the circuit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the track now. That's had quite a few laps on it already, realistically. But I could see where everyone's been riding and the track is turning over. So I do believe it will be a little bit slimy maybe for the first couple. But hopefully with no more rain in the air, there's a chance of this being a great meeting.
Yeah, just as the riders were coming out on parade, we had a bit of a shower, but it's not forecast to rain again this evening. So hopefully that's the end of the rain and it'll be dry for the rest of the evening. Neil Vatcher, the British Youth Supremo, just walking back into the pitch just to check on all his charges. But,
yeah, I mean, he's working very hard for British youth, you know, British on the youth side of it. I know he has a bit to do with the senior side of it, but credit to Neil, he goes with the boys wherever they got to go, Finland, Sweden, Latvia, wherever they got to go. Neil will travel with them and be their help and guidance in these big international meetings that some of these boys are destined to take part in this year.
Yeah, a very enthusiastic character, which rubs off on the riders. He's just out speaking to the 4 riders about to take to the track for Heat 1.
I was only talking about big meetings. I know Ben Trigger is driving to Finland for a meeting.
Wow.
And I was telling me the journey they've got to take, and hats off to them there. You know, that is a big commitment. It's nearly a week of driving when you divide the ferries and different things.
Yeah, his dad Lee is used to doing lots of miles coming from Plymouth. A nice easy meeting for them today to obviously being based in Plymouth, just down the road for them. So we're coming up to tapes for Heat 1, and in red, of course, the man who won the British Under-21 semi-final up at Workington last year, Sam Hagen, who's been piling up the points for Poole already this season. Stene PIJPER is off gate 2 in blue. Ashton VALE is gate 3 in white, and in gate 4 yellow is Chad Wirtzfeld. So you've got the youngest rider, Stene PIJPER, in the field against the oldest rider, Chad Wirtzfeld, and chuck in Sam Hagen and Ashton VALE. This should be a good opening heat.
For sure. With Sam's had a great start to the year, watching his progress in a few of his league meetings and knockout cups and different things. He's had a great start to the meeting, and I'm pretty sure he'll be wanting to get off to a winning start off, especially off at gate 1.
So here we go, first heat of this British Under-21 qualifier. The tapes go up, and a good start from Sam Hagen. Stene PIJPER on the left at the start there, but it's Hagen leading out in front here. Ashton VALE is into second place. Stene PIJPER behind him, and tailed off at the back at the moment is Chad Wirtzfeld.
Yeah, great start from Sam Hagen there. Straight from the tape goes up. I see he had a great bike reaction. Chad Wirtzfeld kind of stopped coming out of bend 2. Didn't really know what was up, but he's got up, and as it happens, he's just slid off at the back, but he's hoping to get his bike up and clear the circuit.
Yeah, well done, Chad Wirtzfeld. He's managed to do it. Oh, there's an incident on the first bend here between Ashton VALE and Stene PIJPER. They're both fine, but they've both come off on that bend, both picked themselves back up. I was looking at Chad Wirtzfeld there, so I didn't actually see what actually happened there, but they both come down and the race has been stopped.
Yeah, totally agree. I was looking at this Chad Wirtzfeld and just making sure he cleared the track, because Sam Hagen was going down the back straight very quick. Great job for Chad to get up and clear the track. But it'd be interesting to see what happens here.
So Ashton VALE is looking a bit annoyed there. I'm not sure if he's annoyed with himself, or let's watch a rerun of the start to this race. As you said, Sam Hagen made an absolute blinder off the inside. Stene PIJPER was a little bit slow to get away.
Be interesting to see what happens here, because Chad got actually up and running and was under power when the race was stopped. So I'm just be interested to see what the referee decides on this. I haven't quite heard if it's a rerun or not.
We'll await to find out, but let's just watch the replay here. Sam Hagen out front, Ashton VALE and Stene PIJPER following him. And we lose Chad Wirtzfeld at the back, just coming into. So the clerk of the course has been asked to contact the referee.
This is where it is, in this corner here. But well, it just looks to me like...
Well, Ashton VALE's in front, wasn't it?
Ashton VALE.
Whether he just slightly overcooked it and then Stene PIJPER's run into him, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. I don't think it was Stene's fault. If anything, I think Ashton was just sliding off there. But it'd be interesting to see what's happening.
I don't think we've had a declaration of what's happening yet in this one. It's, whether it's a rerun or whether the riders for Heat 2 are coming out. But as you said, Chad Wirtzfeld was surely back under power, so...
Yeah, you'd like to think that if it was a rerun, he deserves this, because he done great to get up and try and clear the track, but he was under power when the race was stopped.
Seems to be a little bit of confusion at the moment, just waiting. The referee today is Paul Carrington, up in the box just away to our left. But Sam Hagen would have been pleased with his start there. As you said, he had the favourable gate.
Yeah, you can see there that Ashton BOUGHEN is ready to go already. So whether they've heard that the race has been awarded or not from Heat 1, I'm not sure.
Well, I haven't seen any exclusion lights on.
No, but Ashton BOUGHEN is pushing out. Look, as you can see. So
it must have been. We'll get confirmation, but we can only assume that Ashton VALE's excluded there, which would be Sam Hagen. A win in red, and then Stene PIJPER would be second in blue, and if the referee agreed with us that Chad Wirtzfeld was under power, then he will be in third place.
Yeah, totally agree with that. I've marked. We'll just see if we can get an official result, but it does look like the riders from Heat 2 are out on track looking to get going. As you'll see, there was no time for that heat with the race being stopped. But
yeah, they're definitely ready to go for. Oh, here we go. It's the announcement. So Hagen's first. Yeah,
exactly what we thought.
We were spot on. I think we should be referees, Ben.
Oh, it's a job that I've always wanted to do, I think.
So, Sam Hagen, 3 points, Stene PIJPER 2, Chad Wirtzfeld 1, and Ashton VALE coming off there, excluded when he was in second place. So we're back underway now with Heat 2. And
as you can see, the track was a little bit slimy there with Ashton just coming to grief as he come into the pits bend. But I do think that in a couple of races' time, there'll be a nice, smooth, dry line. And if the boys want to get out and mix it in the dirt, there'll be a nice bit of dirt for them to do so.
So the riders coming up to the tapes. In red, we've got Senna SUMMERS, the son of Aaron Summers. In blue is Freddy HODDER. In white, one of the big favourites for tonight, Ashton BOUGHEN, who's riding for the Oxford Spires in the Premiership. And in yellow and black, of course, last year's Gladiator, Ben Trigger, who'll be looking to make a good impression on his return to this circuit.
Yellow now, isn't it?
Yellow, sorry, not yellow and black. Beg your pardon, I'm showing my age.
Yeah, I mean,
totally
agree with you there. I mean, Ashton BOUGHEN will be looking to get off to a great start. So will Ben Trigger. I mean, let's face it, all the boys want to qualify, but I'll be looking for big things from the outside two starts.
A couple of the televised meetings recently, the white and yellow helmets have looked the same anyhow, so could have done with a bit of black. Here we go for heat number 2. Great start from Ashton BOUGHEN there. He's got out in front of Freddy HODDER. Ben Trigger following him in third place down the back straight, and tailing off at the back early on is Senna SUMMERS, entering those third and fourth bends very cautiously, but BOUGHEN looking great out front.
There we go, like I say, from gate 3, Ashton BOUGHEN made the start as he wanted to. And then we've got Freddy HODDER settling in for a second place. Still a little bit greasy, but his track's turning over nicely.
Yeah, Boughen being put under a little bit of pressure by Hodder. He's certainly not giving up the chase. Trigger sort of an equal few bike lengths back in third place, and then Senna Summers, not surprisingly, taking it very cautiously. Probably his first time he's ever seen this circuit, as Boughen comes round to take the checkered flag in white. Second is Hodder, third is Trigger, and fourth is Summers.
Hodder done a great job there, keeping Ashton BOUGHEN really honest. Really started to get into the race in the second and third lap. Realised he couldn't pass him, and then settled for the 2 points, knowing that the 2 points are more valuable than an exclusion or for a slide off.
54.31 the time for Ashton BOUGHEN. Of course, there was no time in Heat 1. Second, Freddy HODDER in blue. Third, Ben Trigger in white. And Senna Summers bringing up the rear in red. 2 minutes on for Heat number 3. Obviously going to rattle through this fairly swiftly, you'd expect tonight, with dark clouds around.
Yeah, I mean, this will be an interesting heat here. Like you say, I remember Luke Killeen coming here and having an absolute hatful of points. He is very exciting to watch.
He just arrived in the country,
yeah, that's
hasn't he?
right.
He
yeah,
turned up at a National Development League meeting and was
just
outstanding.
And he was absolutely coming in on the throttle, and it was good to watch.
And then soon after that, he picked up an injury, didn't he?
That's correct.
That
was actually, that could have been a championship fixture at Oxford against Plymouth.
Yeah,
I think he flipped it coming out of ends too.
I think he was so impressive in that NDL meeting, they stuck him into their
That's
championship
correct,
side,
yeah.
didn't they? So, and then he got injured, sadly for him. But so Freddy HODDER just going out to the centre green. Don't know if I think he might have lost something off his bike.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's gone out to look for something.
Let's look at the lineup for this one. In red is Micky SIMPSON. In blue, in gate 2, is Luke Harrison. In white, that man we're talking about, Luke Killeen. And in yellow, not yellow and black, is Max James. So this will be a competitive race.
Yes, it will, definitely. But Luke Harrison must be happy. He's had a meeting, a championship meeting here, a knockout cup meeting here last week. So he does know the shape of the track, does know the circuit. Okay, it's a little bit different today, the material, but it's looking good.
So here we go for heat number 3. Tapes go up, and there is Luke Harrison, as you say, benefiting from that experience last week, takes the lead with Luke Killeen behind him in second place. Max James third, and it's Micky SIMPSON at the back at the moment, but Luke Harrison looking very good out front.
Yeah, another great start there from gate 2. To do what he had to do, but you got Luke Killeen really putting pressure on him behind, inside of him, and little mistake there, and Luke Killeen grabs the chance.
Yeah, he was hot on his heels there, just waiting for an error, and Killeen has nipped through to take the lead. It's coming into the last lap here at the Coliseum. Harrison still on his tail though, and then there's a big gap back to Max James.
Yeah, there is. The thing about these meetings are, when you get overtaken and you're still in a second place, it's not to be too much to do anything silly. Them 2 points are vital.
Luke Killeen, the winner there, just a couple of bike lengths ahead of Luke Harrison in blue. Third was Max James in yellow, and fourth was Micky SIMPSON in red. So 3 heats completed. 55.02 was the time for Luke Killeen. So
Luke Harrison made a fantastic start there, and I'm sure he'll be kicking himself, but he just made a little bit of a mistake coming out of bends 4, which left Luke Killeen the gap up the inside. But I'm just looking down at the surface here now, and you can see the racing line appearing, and the base looks solid. With laying a new surface to take this rain, and these boys are going at it really hard, and the track is looking fantastic.
Freddy HODDER returning to the pits. I don't think he's found what he was looking for. I'm not sure what bit of equipment has come off his bike there, but shaking his head. It's obviously somewhere out there. So this man, Jody SCOTT, out in this race, the youngster you were talking so favourably about.
I just remember him riding at Kings Lynn. Great, and I've seen him several times around the country since. He's just got a lovely style on a bike, and it's, I think he's got a big future.
So as they come up to the tapes for heat number 4. In red, in gate 1, that man Jody SCOTT. In blue is Vinnie FOORD. In white, Sonny SPRINGER. And in yellow, Sam McGURK. Of course, we had Sam's older brother Harry riding here at the Coliseum. It's season before last, I think,
That's
wasn't
correct.
it?
Yeah,
so,
that's correct.
It's, of course, he was at Workington last year. So the start marshal just getting the riders under orders here. Scott, Ford, Springer and McGURK as we look across the start line. Slight problem for Sam McGURK on the outside, but he's okay now. Rolls up to the tapes. And that's a great gate there from Vinnie FOORD. Very impressive out front. Sam McGURK has just slid off on bend 1, but he's managed to pick himself up. But Vinnie FOORD looking very impressive out front ahead of Sonny SPRINGER with Jody SCOTT in 3rd place.
Yeah, that was it. Another great start from, one great start from Vinnie FOORD. I don't really know what happened to Sam McGURK though. He just kind of lost it in the first corner, but he's got remounted and knows that a vital point if anything comes will be there.
Vinnie FOORD well out front here. It's, Sam McGURK's less than half a lap ahead at the moment, and he's in no danger of being lapped here. Vinnie FOORD will be really pleased with this start to his evening. Sonny SPRINGER looking very good in 2nd, and Jody SCOTT back in 3rd. So
yeah, a great first ride from Vinnie FOORD. Can't get better than that. It's 3 points in your first ride in a qualification meeting. So well done to him there.
yeah, Vinnie FOORD in blue 1st, Sonny SPRINGER in white 2nd, Jody SCOTT in red 3rd, and Sam McGURK in yellow 4th. .55.18 is the time for Vinnie FOORD. As I said, he was unfortunate he missed out last year in the semi-final, picking up a wrist injury the night before, so he certainly made up for that this evening so far. Great start to his evening. So all the riders have completed 1 ride so far. Let's just see the replay of heat number 4. And the excellent start here from Vinnie FOORD, wasn't it?
I think Jody SCOTT may have had a go at the start. Yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah,
thought he
jump.
did.
Yeah, that disadvantaged him big time, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And when I seen it in the first run, I thought he did, and I just confirmed it there.
Just saw Sam McGURK just slide off on that first bend there. A little bit slippery out wide, but Vinnie FOORD impressive from start to finish, really.
Yeah, I mean, he was coming in, riding it hard. Probably the hardest I've seen any of from the first 4 races, which is what you got to do when the track's a little bit difficult. Got to attack it, got to come in with lots of revs on, and you'll find yourself in a lot easier exits of the corners.
Riders on 3 points, no surprise really. Sam Hagen and Ashton BOUGHEN winning their opening races. Luke Killeen is another one who was amongst the pre-meeting favourites, has also got 3 points. Vinnie FOORD 3 points. On 2 points is Stene PIJPER, Freddy HODDER, Luke Harrison and Sonny SPRINGER. 1 point, Chad Wirtzfeld, Ben Trigger, Max James and Jody SCOTT. And yet to score, of course, Ashton VALE excluding that first ride, Senna SUMMERS, Micky SIMPSON and Sam McGURK, who's out in the next race, 2 on the trot. So.
Yeah, and we've also got 2 race winners in the next race with Sam Hagen and Luke Killeen. Both look very good. So it could be a real tough heat, and everyone will be gunning for that 2nd win.
So, yeah, the three of the expected fancied riders tonight are all winning their opening rides, and as you say, 2 of them meeting up here in Hagen and Killeen, so that should be good scrap. Hagen off gate 2 and Killeen off gate 4.
And then in the next ride, we've got Vinnie FOORD off gate 1 and Ashton BOUGHEN off gate 4. So it's all someone's going to drop points straight away. So it'll make the meeting nice and close for everybody.
I know it doesn't really matter in a way that you're just trying to get into that top 10. But I think if you're in this meeting, I'm sure it meant quite a lot to Sam Hagen to win the semi-final last year. And there are trophies available for first, second and third.
Yeah, totally. I got to, you know, I was always taught we didn't talk about who won the semi-finals because it was all about winning the final. But it's still that thing against all your rivals. So everybody who out qualifies from this meeting think, oh, he won the semi. So all these 16 guys will be out there battling as hard as they can to be on the top step of that podium.
And I know at Workington last season there was no let off from the top boys at the top of the leaderboard towards the end. They were really trying to win the meeting. As I said, Sam Hagen won it. Ben Trigger was second, just ahead of Nathan Ablett, I think it was, on count back. Ablett, of course, one of the seeded riders this year. And that should be some meeting at Glasgow with Leon Flint, the two Thompson boys as well, and whoever comes through from this.
Yeah, I mean, the British Under-20 final is a big meeting on the calendar every year, but I feel it's getting better. There was a couple of years where I felt it wasn't quite up to strength, but now it's getting better, and a lot of that is down to Team GB and the hard work they're putting in behind the scenes with all the youngsters. So hopefully the things that are bright for British Speedway.
Connor Bailey, of course, won the final last year, and Ashton BOUGHEN, of course, he's only 16. He's got plenty of goes at this, hasn't he?
He has, and I'll be honest, I can see him winning at least once if he keeps going on with the progression he's doing. He's doing great things, you know, riding in all 3 leagues.
To see him picking up points in the Premiership last week for Oxford was...
and beating Jason Doyle around Ipswich.
That's right.
You know, that's a big thing. Doyley's great round there, but Ashton's taking it all in his stride and just going with the flow. I mean, he's quite lucky in one respect. He's riding a bike 4 or 5 times a week, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, being on the bike that much is a great thing. I mean, I'm going to have gone 2 weeks without a meeting again. You know, and it's hard, but you just got to keep as fit as you can and as ready as you can for when your next meeting is.
Riders out for heat number 5. So they're coming up to the tapes for this one. As Ben said, 2 heat winners out in this one. Off gate 1, Sam McGURK, who obviously fell off on the first bend in the last race, but picked himself up to complete the race. Gate 2 blue is Sam Hagen, first winner first time out. White is Senna SUMMERS, and in gate 4 in yellow, Luke Killeen, another first time winner. So
you've got a first time winners and a first time faller. So you've got Sam McGURK be itching to get some points on the board to counteract that mistake he made in the first corner in the last race.
He should be a bit happier coming off gate 1.
For sure.
Out in gate 4 where he caught some of the slimy stuff out wide. Under orders, here we go for heat number 5. Great start from Sam Hagen there. Killeen coming round the other 2 to take up second place. Sam McGURK into third and Senna SUMMERS at the back, but great piece of gating there from Sam Hagen.
Yeah, a great start again from gate 2. Luke Killeen coming off from gate 4 where we know it's tough. It's just settled in there for second place. If he stays up and everything goes, it is 5 points from 2 rides. He'll be a very happy man.
Yeah, Hagen showing the sort of form that saw him pile up the points for Poole in their opening championship match against Oxford recently at Wimborne Road. Pulled off 1 or 2 stunning passes that night, but looking good out front, just keeping a tight inside line. Killeen doing his best to close the gap, but there's only going to be 1 race winner here.
Yeah, for sure, but when you get out in front and you can afford to ride around the inside at the moment because it's the driest line, and you know, when no one's putting real pressure on you, it's the easiest place to ride. So great ride there by Sam Hagen to go 2 wins through his first 2 rides.
Yeah, winner in blue is Sam Hagen. Just checking his time. 54.24 for Sam Hagen, winning that heat. Second in yellow was Luke Killeen. Third in red was Sam McGURK. And fourth in white was Senna SUMMERS. So Sam Hagen moves on to 6 points. Luke Killeen is on to 5. Sam McGURK picks up his first point, and Senna SUMMERS still to trouble the scorers.
coming to Heat 6 now. Looks another great lineup. Vinnie FOORD, who I was very impressed with in his first ride against Ashton BOUGHEN, coming from the unfavoured gate 4 at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, Stene PIJPER in there as well, and Micky SIMPSON. But yeah, Vinnie FOORD, as you say, off trap 1, Ashton BOUGHEN off trap 4.
I mean, Vinnie impressed me. He was riding it really hard, coming in with the gas on. And that's the way you got to ride a track like this. But then Ashton also looked as classy out in front when he was out front. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
I don't think Vinnie will have seen this track too often, will he? Maybe once or twice?
Yeah, maybe once or twice. I'm not really sure when he would have been here. But, you know, he took to it like a duck takes the water, they say.
Yes, yeah. And there's plenty of water around.
There we go.
You set them up, I'll put them away, Ben. So the riders up at tapes for heat number 6 in red. Vinnie FOORD winner first time out. In blue, in gate 2 is Micky SIMPSON. Stene PIJPER, as we said before, the youngest rider in the field.
Looks very young there, doesn't he? Looks very young there.
White in gate 3 and gate 4, Ashton
That was
BOUGHEN in
22,
yellow.
so he was looking at the race jacket there, so he'll have only been 13 in that picture.
I bet he doesn't like that photo.
No, I bet he doesn't. It's not doing him.
Here we go in heat 6. Well, Ashton BOUGHEN having to go wide, trying to go around the outside of Vinnie FOORD and Micky SIMPSON, but BOUGHEN back in third at the moment. Again, Vinnie FOORD gating brilliantly.
Vinnie FOORD, they've quite 3 of them made it level there, but Vinnie FOORD was the bravest going into the first corner. Micky SIMPSON second, keeping Ashton BOUGHEN in third place. Great start again by Vinnie FOORD, and like again, riding it really hard, looking smooth in front.
And that was a classic example there of Ashton BOUGHEN thinking, I just need to collect points, don't do anything stupid here.
Exactly that, and that's what I'm saying this meeting's about. But he is putting a lot of pressure on Micky SIMPSON. Micky SIMPSON cannot afford to make a mistake, but at the moment he's keeping a very cool head.
Yeah, this will be quite a sculpt for SIMPSON, but Vinnie FOORD way out in front. Brilliant from the Leicester man, 2 wins out of 2. And Micky SIMPSON has just headed Ashton BOUGHEN over the line.
Oh, and then Micky SIMPSON has just slid off as he's gone over the line. But very good ride there to pick up 2 points.
So first in red, Vinnie FOORD. Second in blue, Micky SIMPSON. Third in yellow, Ashton BOUGHEN. And fourth in white, Stene PIJPER. 56.54 was the time there. So certainly the slowest of the meeting so far.
The times aren't going to be overly quick tonight with the surface which they're racing on, but like I say, it was a great start there by Vinnie FOORD. Here we go, looking at the replay again, and Ashton looked straight away. Actually, Micky SIMPSON seemed to make the best of the starts there, but just left room for Vinnie FOORD to go around the inside, and then he went tapes to flag from there.
Ashton just throttled back there, didn't he? He wasn't going to be too adventurous around the boards there, or around the air fence, as the riders come out for heat number 7. As I said, they're going through this meeting at a good pace tonight with overcast weather, but I think we've seen the last of the rain, fingers crossed.
Hopefully. I mean, the rain came down thick and fast earlier on today. I've been down in the West Country for the last couple of days, and the rain has been brutal. And if I'm honest, I rang Mark last night and said, what time are you calling the meeting off? And he said, well, I'm not. And I went, you're joking, aren't you? And he's like, no, we're going to give it a go. And in all fairness, like, as you can see, we've got a bird's eye view down to the pits corner here, and the surface looks great, doesn't it? The surface underneath is solid. Yeah,
fair play to him. And himself, he's just walking down just in front of us, who are talking there, and the track staff as well. Here we go for heat number 7. In red is Luke Harrison in gate 1. In gate 2 in blue is Jody SCOTT. In gate 3 in white is Freddy HODDER. And gate 4 in yellow, Ashton VALE, who of course was excluded in his opening ride after just spinning off on bend 2.
Yep, so it'd be vital to pick up some points here, because as you've just seen, Ashton BOUGHEN dropping points, people are dropping points other than Vinnie FOORD and Sam Hagen. So people dropping points, any point you can score are vital.
HODDER and Harrison picked up second places in their opening ride. Let's see what they can do here. Harrison off gate 1. And it's Freddy HODDER who traps first there with Harrison coming through the inside to follow him round. Third is Jody SCOTT, Ashton VALE at the back, but Freddy HODDER, great talent out front at the moment.
It was a great start there from gate 3 with Luke Harrison settling into second place. Just thinking points, just got to qualify, but Freddy HODDER, what a start, and he's pulling away in front.
Riding for something that came off his bike there, I think. Berwick Bandits reserve in the championship. Freddy HODDER riding for Bellevue Colts in the National Development League.
You could see all this racing though, doing 2 leagues, it's paying dividends. He's riding at Bellevue and Berwick, 2 massive tracks, and he's come to Plymouth and looks at home, doing a great job.
He looks stylish, doesn't he? So first across the finish line is that man in white, Freddy HODDER, who goes on to 5 points. Luke Harrison in red picks up another 2, goes on to 4. Jody SCOTT in blue is third, he goes on to 2, and Ashton VALE is fourth, yet to score. 54.25 is the time. So Freddy HODDER will be delighted with the second and first to start with.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great start there from Freddy off of gate 3, I believe he was on. It's a great start to outgate Luke Harrison, who has been here last week. So it's a great start, and he made it to the flag and claimed the 3 points.
We've had wins off every gate apart from yellow so far, I think.
And I'm sure Sonny SPRINGER will be in this one, and he'll obviously want to break that duck and get out there.
So Ben Trigger out in this one as well. So the rider's just coming round to the tapes for heat number 8. In red is Chad Wirtzfeld, who picked up 1 point in his first ride. Ben Trigger, another 1 point man in his first outing in blue. Max James, another 1 point man in his first outing, is in white. And in yellow and black, Sonny SPRINGER, who got a second place in his first outing.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it, when you come to this? You look at down and you don't know who's going to win from which gate, because all these boys are battling hard for their points.
Ben Trigger will be looking for more than 1 point in this one, I would think. Start Marshall doing his best to get Trigger and James up to the tapes. They're there now, so we're ready for the start of heat 8. Ben Trigger just about, no, Max James just got over the top of him, I think. As Trigger come through on the inside, they're battling it out down that back straight, and Ben Trigger just noses ahead of Max James. Gotten a little bit of difficulty on Ben FOORD, but Trigger leading the way. Yeah,
Ben Trigger didn't quite make the start there, but just plucked his way around the inside. Max James just moved a metre off the line, and Trigger stuck his nose in front.
He's got pink in his leathers this year. It's like watching James Pearson. Stretching his lead now, Max James coming under pressure here from Chad Wirtzfeld, who looks more comfortable in this outing after his fall in his first 4 laps.
Yeah, for sure. Like I say, everybody will be getting used to the track now with the track settling down, but Chad Wirtzfeld is really having a go here in 3rd place.
He comes in very low, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He comes in really like a grass track rider, where he comes in really low and keeps the motor on, which I like to see.
So the winner in blue, Ben Trigger, with 3 points, takes him on to 4. Second in white, Max James, takes him on to 3. Third is Chad Wirtzfeld. 54.92 is the winning time. Third was Chad Wirtzfeld, and that takes him on to 2 points. And at the back there was Sonny SPRINGER, and he remains on 2 points. Let's just watch a replay of the start. Very hotly contested starts here between Ben Trigger and Max James.
Yeah, like I say, Max James, I feel, makes the best of it off of gate 3, but just doesn't really keep low enough here and lets Ben Trigger up the inside, and Trigger doesn't look back from there. The only person really to get really stuck in after this, I feel, was Chad Wirtzfeld. Really.
Let's cross over to Mattie in the pits.
So as we go now into the pits after 8 heats of racing, track's looking pretty good actually, considering now that top surface is gone, it's created a bit of a dirt line, quite slick on the inside. But 2 riders that have gone through tonight so far unbeaten from 2 rides is Vinnie FOORD of Leicester Lion Cubs and Sam Hagen of the Poole Pirates and Bellevue Colts, which is no surprise because they've both grown up racing Eastbourne and Lakeside on those tight tech tracks. So sort of, you know, ideal conditions, well not ideal conditions, but an ideal track for them. We'll just venture through the pits a minute. You can see Freddy HODDER over there in the corner. I'm actually quite surprised by Freddy. I've seen him, obviously, his National League scores and they've been very good. His championship scores have been good this year so far for Berwick, but obviously this is a very, very different track to Berwick and Bellevue where he sort of cut his teeth with league racing. So a second and a win in his last one, that's very impressive for, you know, considering what he usually races weekly. See Luke Harrison there, 2 second places at the minute. A little bit different to Scunthorpe in Sheffield, I suppose, but he's cracking on with it. I believe it's his first appearance down at the Coliseum. You see Ben Trigger there. Race win in the last heat. Looked very quick, 2 seconds off the track record, give or take, a few split seconds. But no, looking very good in the last one. Looked a little bit off the pace in the first one, but you know, track was a bit tricky with setups he's probably usually using from last season. So we venture over to the second side. You can see Jody SCOTT there giving himself a brush down. That's the main issue now with these sort of meetings, where that dirt line's created, it's very heavy, so when it sticks to you, it really does stick to you. You can put on an extra stone and weight, in fact. Look over there, we can see former Plymouth Devil, James right there with Chad Wirtzfeld, just putting a bit of oil in the frame, that'll drip down onto the chain, keep that nice and cool while racing commences. Can see Theo Piper there, obviously a former rider himself here tonight with his son Stene. I believe his other son, Ace, who races for Scunthorpe and Sheffield in the National League and Glasgow in the championships here as well. See Ashton VALE. I think this must be one of Ashton's first appearances. He might have been here before. I can't quite remember. There's been quite a few youth meetings in the previous seasons, but I know it's definitely one of his first appearances down here, especially since they've redone the track slightly on the top corners. But no, he's been a bit unlucky. Come off in his first one when he was in second, and I think that one there, he's just trying to figure it all out, bless him. But Luke Killeen over there, doing very well so far. Race winning his first one. Got a second place then in his last heat, which I believe was heat number 7? Heat number 6, sorry. No. Yes, heat number 7. We'll see if we can get a word with Luke, actually. You actually see as well, you got Jacob Hook there, obviously, who's currently riding for Plymouth this year. Looks like they've dropped a tooth or shortened the back wheel, so that will make the bike drive a little bit more forward, obviously, in these slicker conditions on the inside. But no, obviously, you can see a few riders now making changes. The track's riding very differently now to how it did to start with. It's now that top layer has come off, it looks a little bit preoccupied. Who else have we got around? We got Senna SUMMERS over there. Senna's first appearance here at the Coliseum. Not a lot of racing experience in regards to this level, but, you know, still giving it a good go. You can see there Leon Flint with him, who rides for the Birmingham Brummies. Had a good night last night on Eurosport and also rides for the Glasgow Tigers. We'll see who we can grab a minute. Who we got over there? We'll talk to Max James. Hey buddy, you alright for a quick interview?
Yeah, all good.
So 2 rides. How you find? I know you've been here before. Is it an under 16s meeting?
Yeah, 250 British Youth Champion.
And you won that meeting, or?
I won every race, and then I got excluded from the final. But yeah, no, I'm liking it today. Just got to keep banging in the points, you know, get top 10. Haven't ridden this track on 500, especially in these conditions, so just getting used to it. But I think we can get a few more points in, definitely.
Do you find it much different, obviously, because the last time you rode here, it would have been different on that top corner, because obviously they banked it and widened it. Is it that much difference to you, or you've not really noticed it?
Yeah, I can definitely tell. You know, all these tracks have like different, like tiny little tweaks, but this one I can actually tell. It's a bit narrower going in, but you do have a bit more space mid-corner, so yeah, it's quite nice to ride.
And obviously back with Leicester this year, and obviously with Edinburgh as well in the championship, so a bit of a long trek for you, but quite similar in like not size, but obviously the tight, both two tight tracks. So a little bit of experience on those sort of tracks. So it's doing you good tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I always like my tighter technical tracks, if you would, and so I think it definitely works out for me this track. So good to get some laps in today, and then come down for some more meetings later on in the year, and have some, we'll have some knowledge of the track. So
ideal. Well, keep it up. You're riding really well. So that was Max James there. Very, very bright lad. Very friendly, which is always good. We're on 2 minutes now, so I'm going to pass you back up to Nigel, not Neil. I was staring at Neil Vatcher, actually, when I was calling that last one. But I'll pass you back up to Nigel and Ben up in comms.
No problem at all, Mattie. It's, yeah, thank you for that. Interesting to hear from Max James. He's coped pretty well so far tonight. 3 points from his opening 2 rides. Got a couple of big matchups in the next 4 heats with Ashton BOUGHEN and Sam Hagen facing each other in Heat 9, and then in Heat 11 we've got Luke Killeen against Vinnie FOORD. So,
and Ben Trigger,
who was
a Heat winner last time out.
Yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting block of 4 heats. We just had a track raid, the first one of the night.
Just had a track raid there, and I don't know, I was just looking at it and I'm thinking it's either going to have made a lot of grip or which I'm hoping it has, but it could make it very interesting. If someone goes to the inside, someone goes to the outside in the first corner, could make for an interesting back straight.
Yeah, let's see. So Ashton BOUGHEN this time off gate 1 in red. He's got Sonny SPRINGER alongside him off gate 2 in blue. Then it's that man Sam Hagen in white off gate 3. Of course, Sam has won his opening 2 rides. Ashton BOUGHEN dropped 2 points in his last outing. And then in gate 4, another man who's done pretty well so far tonight, Luke Harrison, is in yellow. He's got 4 points. This could be a real classic battle in this one.
Yeah, I mean, everybody scored points up until now in this heat, and everyone, the points are vital. So this heat could go either way.
A little bit of rain again in the air, but it's just the odd drop at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't develop into anything else as we get underway for heat number 9. Ashton BOUGHEN making a great gate off the inside. Sam Hagen coming around from white, chasing him down the back straight. Hagen goes around the outside of him. Great overtake there from the Pool Pirates man.
Exactly what I said before the race. Someone goes to the inside, someone goes to the outside. Make for a great back straight, which it did with Sam Hagen. Just doing enough to go round the outside of Ashton BOUGHEN, and now it's all systems go from here.
He's going to take some stopping tonight, Sam Hagen, in this sort of form. Looking very elegant out front. Ashton BOUGHEN's keeping him under pressure though, certainly not giving up here, the Oxford man.
Sometimes it's not about trying to pass him, it's about putting enough pressure on to force him into a mistake and then capitalising on it. And you've got Luke Harrison as well in 3rd place, not giving up at all and trying to put Ashton under pressure as well.
So it is Sam Hagen in white who takes the checkered flag first. 2nd in red, Ashton BOUGHEN. 3rd in yellow is Luke Harrison. And 4th is Sonny SPRINGER. Just get the time. 54.96 is the winning time for Sam Hagen. So he makes it 3 wins out of 3 out in front on 9 points. Ashton BOUGHEN picks up 2 there, takes him on to 6. Luke Harrison has got 1, takes him on to 5. And it is Sonny SPRINGER, last place is on 2. Let's see a replay of the start here. And BOUGHEN gated first, but as you said, Sam Hagen picked a lovely line around the outside.
Great starting technique there from Ashton. He's fantastic at the start, but just doesn't quite go up to the dirt. He doesn't actually have to go into the dirt. He could have just moved up just to stop and not give Sam enough room to be able to have that nice run going down the back straight. 2
really bright prospects, these 2. As I said, saw them battling it out at Poole in their opening championship match against Oxford.
I've watched Sam a lot. I know he spent a lot of time in America and Australia and doing things like that. And he just seemed to have, the last 6 months, he seems to have improved drastically. And, and he's looking really good. There's no other thing to say other than, fair play. And he's really upped his game. And, it's a pleasure to watch him race.
He's got good machinery under him as well.
Oh, for sure he will have. But that's what you got to have this day and age. Yeah. I mean, you look around the pits here at the Coliseum this evening, everybody's got good equipment. If you don't have good equipment, it's tough.
Max James even though he's red, was initially lining up in the blue starting gate there. He's just been corrected there by the start marshal. So Max James in red off gate 1, in gate 2 in blue is Senna Summers, gate 3 in white is Jody Scott, and in gate 4 in yellow is Stene PIJPER. Still a few drops of rain coming down.
Yeah, just a little bit. Hopefully they stay away. It'd be nice to get these 20 heats completed and all the riders nice and safe.
Yeah, it's been gloomy here all night, but as I said, it's not forecast to rain anymore, but it's the odd rogue shower, I think, passing overhead. Here we go for heat number 10. That's a great start by Senna Summers there. That is superb. Gated brilliantly there. We've got a problem with yellow. Stene PIJPER's dropped out of the back, but well, Senna Summers leading Max James here.
Yeah, he just done enough there, but look at him riding the edge of the dirt there. And did you see the speed he got then, just from the edge of that dirt? So that's the place to be. But made a great start, and he is making it go from the front.
He must have done something to his setup, as the first 2 rides he was almost well adrift at the back, and all of a sudden he's riding out front like he's ridden this track all his life.
Yeah, like, you know, he's got 3 rides left. He needs to get around 6 or 7 points on the board to be sure of qualification. Hopefully this will be 3 points towards that tally.
Well, that's a brilliant ride from Senna Summers, who takes the checkered flag in blue. Second in red, Max James carrying on his points collecting. Third in white was Jody Scott, and Stene PIJPER dropped out in 4th place. He looks pretty unhappy, putting his hands up to his dad Theo in disgust. I don't know, is he blaming his mechanic there?
Oh, hopefully not. You know, being a father and son relationship, I know sometimes it can be a bit hard, but you know, Stene will hopefully come in, regroup and go again for his last 2 rides.
Didn't quite catch the time on that one, but Jody Scott picks up a point. He's on 3 points. Stene PIJPER just 2 from his 3 rides. Senna Summers, as I said, 2 last places, and now he's got a heat win to take him on to 3.
You know, like I said earlier on, the points are vital, and I did say to you earlier, it's a runoff for the 10th position. 1st, 2nd and 3rd will be done on countback, and it will be a runoff for the final 10th position, so you've got to make sure you're in it.
Max James is up to 5 points. We've got 2 minutes on for the riders in heat 11, and this is going to be a real tasty battle here with Ben Trigger, Luke Killeen and Vinnie FOORD all out.
Yeah, all 3 have won a race at least this evening, and I do believe it. You know, it'll be who wants it enough in that first corner. Get your back wheel in that dirt, get down the back straight. You know, Vinnie here off of gate 4 would he'll be the first to the dirt, I feel, the way he's riding tonight, and he's loving it.
Ben Trigger off gate 1 in red, Luke Killeen off gate 2 in blue, Ashton VALE in white off gate 3, and Vinnie FOORD in yellow off gate 4. Vinnie FOORD's on 6 points, Luke Killeen's got 5, Ben Trigger 4, Ashton VALE yet to score. So this is going to be hugely competitive, particularly from the tapes.
Here we go.
We've still not had a race winner from the outside gate, so can Vinnie FOORD put that right? It's a good gate, but it's Ben Trigger who's got there first. Luke Killeen has slipped through into second, and Vinnie FOORD, who gated well but couldn't quite get across his 2 rivals, is back in 3rd place. Ben Trigger leading out front, with Luke Killeen on his tail.
There we go. It's a great start. I was in a mind of my own watching then. The great start from Ben Trigger, and he's looking really good up front, but he's sticking to the inside, which is doing what he needs to do to score points for qualification. But Luke Killeen really not giving up, and he is a hard charger in 2nd place.
This is really going to mix up the scoreboard at the top. Ben Trigger on course for his 2nd race win of the night. Luke Killeen is going to keep him on this right until the checkered flag, though. Killeen looking about going underneath him, but Ben Trigger's going to hold on to take a race win in red, with Luke Killeen in blue in 2nd. It's Vinnie FOORD in yellow in 3rd, and then trailing in at the back is Ashton VALE in white.
55.02 there for Ben Trigger. Pretty much made the start round the first corner, and that was it from there, and he's just got another 3 points on the board.
So that takes Ben Trigger and Luke Killeen both on to 7 points, and Vinnie FOORD also on 7 points now, so it's becoming incredibly competitive, tucked in behind Sam Hagen, leading the way at the top of the points chart on 9.
I'm just looking down the score tally, and you know, there's a lot of people that haven't got many points on the board yet, but one race win will put them right back in contention. So that's what, you know, look at what's Senna Summers, 003. 2 more great rides and he'll be in for qualification.
Freddy HODDER, if he can win this one, would take him up to 8 points, so put him second in the standings behind Sam Hagen, but he is coming off that yellow gate 4, which, as we said, hasn't had a winner yet.
It was like this last week, and I think I might have been the first race winner in Heat 13 to come from gate 4. But what we done in the first running of it, I missed it, so I changed my.
In red is Sam McGURK, in blue Chad Wirtzfeld, white is Micky SIMPSON, and off the outside in yellow Freddy HODDER. Sorry, Ben, I interrupted you.
Yeah, hopefully I changed the setup for Heat 13 in the second time round, and boy, it worked. And then Dan Thompson done it again in Heat 15.
So can Freddy HODDER provide our first winner from gate 4? It's only been, I'm just looking down the chart, I think we've had 1 second place from gate 4, which was Luke Killeen, and all the others have been 3rd and 4th, so
yeah,
it's very difficult.
But someone's got to break the egg, hopefully, break the duck and get out there.
Well, Freddy HODDER will probably fancy his chances in this one. But Micky SIMPSON, who said, beat Ashton BOUGHEN earlier.
Yeah,
and,
but Chad Wirtzfeld looked good in a ride of his as well, and Sam McGURK, we know there's a lot more to come from Sam.
Here we go with heat number 12. Yeah, and it's Micky SIMPSON. HODDER going around the outside. Can he get the drive down the back? A brilliant move by Freddy HODDER takes him into the lead past Micky SIMPSON there. Chad Wirtzfeld trying to come round SIMPSON as well, but it's HODDER leading the way.
Chad will love this. Chad loves a bit, you know, he's a grass tracker through and through. He'll get up there in the dirt, but wasn't a great start from Freddy, but a great first corner to slingshot him down the back straight, round the outside of Micky SIMPSON and into the lead.
He was very brave there, wasn't he? Wasn't going to hold back there, slipping down the outside, going down the back straight, and he's opened up a bit of a lead here.
Here comes Chad Wirtzfeld, really getting stuck in. Now back to the inside, going down the back straight to see if he can get past.
He's
unlucky!
Just overcooked it. He slid off on that bend, but Freddy HODDER.
10 out of 10 for effort from Chad. Really got stuck in the pits bend, made the move in the pit in the first corner, turned back to give himself a long straight, but just ran out of room coming up the inside of Micky SIMPSON.
56.95 the winning time for Freddy HODDER in yellow, second in white Micky SIMPSON, third Sam McGURK in red, taking advantage of Chad Wirtzfeld coming off at the back. He's picked himself up and crossed. Oh, sorry, no, he hasn't. He's still down. Well, he has picked himself up. He's standing up by his machine on the 3rd and 4th bends. But as Ben said, you couldn't fault him for effort there. Tremendous attempt to get into second place there.
You only fall off when you're trying, I was always taught. And that was a prime example of it there. Going down the back straight with a handful of throttle just to try and get that vital second place, because he's down on points and come to grief, unfortunately. But he's up now and he's walking back towards the pit, so that's good to see.
So Freddy HODDER is up into second place in the standings. Leading the way is Sam Hagen with 9 points. Freddy HODDER has got 8, and then we've got a little clutch of riders on 7. Ben Trigger, Luke Killeen and Vinnie FOORD. Just looking down the score chart for the 6-pointers, Ashton BOUGHEN is on 6 points. And then on 5 points we got Max James and Luke Harrison. And then come the 4-pointers is Micky SIMPSON. 3, Jody SCOTT, Senna SUMMERS, and Stene PIJPER's got 2. Ashton VALE yet to score. Chad Wirtzfeld has got 2. Sam McGURK has got 2, and Sonny SPRINGER has got 2.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what they're doing to Chad's bike there. I think he's bent his primary chain guide, but he actually runs belts, I believe, and it's all jammed up.
Looks like he's in the swimming pool end there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So much water. Yeah. If you want an indication of how much rain we've had here in Plymouth
and if you
today,
want an indication of how well the track is holding
exactly.
up, look at the infield there. There's no standing water anywhere on this surface, and look at the great racing there it's created. You know, Freddy HODDER there, look at that, he just got his wheels in the dirt, got in a straight line and went straight round the outside of Micky SIMPSON going down the back straight.
And it would have been so easy to call this meeting off, knowing that you had 16 riders coming from all parts of the country.
And I said to myself yesterday that I spoke to my Uncle Mark, or Mark Phillips, and I said,
are you mad?
When are you calling it off? And he's like, well, I'm not. And I said, you must be crazy. And he said, my forecast says it's going to stop raining at 4 o'clock. And 4 o'clock, it stopped raining. Okay, we had a tiny shower after that. But, you know, it just shows what great racing this is going to produce. Where, especially when the big championship boys come here, week in, week out, when you have Sam Masters, Scott Nichols, who are here at the weekend, they're going to love these conditions. You know, it's smooth. You can see there's not a bump on the track. It's racing fantastic.
And in the past, whenever there's been rain on the day of the meeting, it's almost a foregone conclusion it's going to get caught. I think now fans can look forward a bit more confidence to the meeting staying on.
And it's credit to the team here at Plymouth for getting the service as it is. I mean, I'm looking at the track from the bird's eye view that we've got here on the first corner, and the surface is great.
So just a little bit of a delay. Freddy HODDER has got 2 on the trot, and what a race we've got in store in Heat 13. This is going to be some battle. Sam Hagen on 9 points is out in this one. Freddy HODDER on 8 points in second place is also out. Vinnie FOORD on 7 is out in this one. And Max James, who's doing 5 and doing pretty well, also out in this race. So, well, you would almost say if Sam Hagen can win this race, he'll almost have wrapped up the top spot on the rostrum later.
Well, yeah, but you say that, but, you know, Freddy HODDER will be saying the same. If he beats Sam Hagen, then he's in for a chance. But the thing that Freddy's got, he's just raced. He's just rode this track in the heat previous. I just wonder whether Sam has been in the pits and watched his last ride, seen what Freddy done, and knows what Freddy's going to do, because Freddy isn't, I can't see Freddy riding around the inside in the first corner. You know, he's going to know the grip is where he needs to be.
Well, interestingly, Freddy HODDER provided our first race winner from the outside gate. Who's in the outside gate in this one?
Sam Hagen. So that's why I'm saying,
exactly.
I wonder if he studied it, looked at it. He's going where no one's been already before. This is where there is a rut there. There was a rut there last week. I'm just wondering whether it's there again and he can make the start from there.
So Freddy HODDER with 8 points off gate 1 in red. In blue, Max James with 5 points off gate 2. Vinnie FOORD with 7 points in white off gate 3. And that man Sam Hagen, 3 from 3 so far in yellow off gate 4.
We're just sat here talking about Freddy HODDER and Sam Hagen, forgetting that Vinnie FOORD.
I know.
Vinnie FOORD has been absolute stylish when he's hit the front. So, you know, it's all systems.
Well, potentially all 3 of them could be on 10 points after this race.
Exactly that.
So it's certainly all to play for. Heat. And as I said, Max James isn't too shabby either. So this should be a classic. Start marshal trying to get Sam Hagen up to the tapes.
You have to be careful now with the new rule. You've got to be ready to race when the 2 minutes goes, otherwise you're excluded.
So here we go for what should be a fascinating Heat 13. And Hagen's made a dream of a start. That is an absolute dream from the outside. Vinnie FOORD is second. Max Perry has just been rounded by Freddy HODDER there.
No, Freddy HODDER's at the back.
The other way round, sorry. Max James has rounded Freddy HODDER.
Yeah, I mean, it's something, you know, you'd have thought Freddy after his last ride would have been well up there, but he's still got a few points on the board. But Sam Hagen, what a start from gate 4. And you've got Vinnie FOORD looking very good in second place.
He was just jet propelled, wasn't he? He just left the others almost, well, literally standing.
Yeah, and he's like you say, he's looking smooth out front, not having to go up into the dirt. just round the inside, but going down the back straight.
Freddy HODDER going from hero to zero here in the space of 2 heats. And Sam Hagen takes the checkered flag to make it 4 wins out of 4 in yellow. Second in white is Vinnie FOORD. Third in blue is Max James. And at the back in red, Freddy HODDER. 54.19, I think that was.
54.15.
15, sorry. I'm getting old, my hearing's going. But Sam Hagen, 4 wins out of 4, takes him on to 12 points. Vinnie FOORD is up onto 8 with that second place. Freddy HODDER is on he's on 8 after his last place. And Max James is on to 6 with his third place. Well, we didn't see that one coming, did we, with Freddy HODDER at the back?
No,
there?
I definitely didn't see that, especially coming off of the inside start, which, you know, has been a lot better than coming from gate 4. But the last 2, we hadn't had a race winner from gate 4, and then we're given 2 on the trot. So let's just see what Luke Harrison is thinking.
Yeah,
in
can he make
one.
it a hat trick? He's got Ben Trigger alongside him in this one.
You know, for me, if, you know, Luke Harrison should have watched Sam Hagen there. And if you look, he hasn't, I would have been going in exactly the same route.
Just to run through the lineup, Stene PIJPER in red off gate 1, Max James in blue. That's the wrong, what do we got there?
Sam
McGURK in blue off gate 2. Ben Trigger in white off gate 3. And it's Luke Harrison in yellow off gate 4.
You know, Trigger will be itching to get another win, and, you know, another win here or something. 2 points will see him definitely through without a problem.
Well,
so
that'll put him on 10 if he gets another win here.
Yeah, I don't know what the cut-off point is going to be, but I'd imagine it'd be around 6 or something.
Yeah.
6.
You would think 6 points, wouldn't you, with the top 10 qualifying?
So Sam McGURK here can pop up with a race win or something. He's definitely capable of doing so.
Here we go. Heat number 14. Good start from Ben Trigger. Just about to hold on. He was coming under pressure from Luke Harrison underneath him there, but Trigger leading the way down the back straight. Harrison in second place with Sam McGURK third and Stene PIJPER at the back.
Great start from Trigger there off gate 3. Luke Harrison looking very good off of gate 4. I mean, gate 4 has scored more points in the last 3 races than it has all evening. So the track is definitely changing and coming to the outside.
Yeah, Ben Trigger looking like a man who really knows his way around this circuit out front, but Luke Harrison is only a bike length or so behind him.
Yeah, he's not giving up. Luke Harrison's really keeping Ben Trigger honest, but steady point scoring from Luke Harrison so far this evening would definitely be good for his tally.
And Ben Trigger wins Heat 14 in white with Luke Harrison in yellow in second place. Third in blue is Sam McGURK. Fourth in red is Stene PIJPER. 54.68 the winning time for Ben Trigger. Takes him onto 10 points. Luke Harrison moves up onto 7. Sam McGURK is 1 point, so goes on to 3, and it's Stene PIJPER. He's was last in that one. He's on to 2 points.
Just looking down across the heats here, and there's still some big races to come with the likes of Sam Hagen, Ben Trigger and Micky SIMPSON, who had a great ride in his last rides. That's coming in heat 17, so there's still some lot of racing to be done.
This one's going to be fascinating. Senna SUMMERS, who, as you said, 2 last places, well adrift, suddenly comes out and wins his third ride. He's off that outside gate. We're just talking about 8 points has come from the last 3 races from that outside gate, and can he do it against Micky SIMPSON, who himself has picked up a couple of very good second places?
I mean, if he can get out the start and get down the back straight, he's gonna, Senna SUMMERS is gonna go on 0-0, and after 2 rides, you can find yourself in the mix of qualifying. So, fair play to him. He hasn't given up after his first 2 last places.
Off of gate 2 in blue, we've got Ashton VALE. Micky SIMPSON off of gate 3 in white.
So the riders just coming up to the tapes.
It's quite weird. Worst part of the track looks to be the start line.
Yes.
It's where the water is still a little bit. But
just go through the lineup. Sonny Springer in red off gate 1, Ashton Vale in blue off gate 2, Micky Simpson in white off gate 3, and that man Senna Summers off gate 4. Sorry, Ben.
yeah, no, I'm just saying the start line looks the worst place at the moment. The rest of the track looks in great condition, and it's made some great racing so far.
So Senna Summers, actually born in Norwich. What can the young man do from the outside gate here? Oh, he almost looked like he had bike trouble there getting away from the start. It was very slow, and it's Micky Simpson who's leading the way with Ashton Vale in second, Sonny Springer at third. Yeah, but Senna Summers has definitely got
struggled there, yeah. A great start from Micky Simpson. Ashton Vale is out there giving it a good go and keeping Micky Simpson honest. Something has just come from one of the bikes, but unsure what it was. Great looking heat.
It was like he's trying to start in a tractor there, wasn't it? It was 0 to 60 in about half an hour for Senna Summers.
But then he's got going now at the back, so he's just, hoping for a mistake from one of the guys to pick up a vital point.
But Micky Simpson building on those 2 second places, heading towards his first heat win of the evening. So Ashton Vale doing much better in this one. He's going to pick up his first points, providing he can negotiate the last 2 bends, which he does. So Micky Simpson in white takes the checkered flag. Second in blue is Ashton Vale. Third in red is Sonny Springer. And Senna Summers, duck, 3 duck, his scorecard reads tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough meeting, and he just don't really know what happened there. But like you say, he come from gate 4, but didn't really come off for the start at all.
56.78, I think it was. The 7-4, beg your pardon, just misheard the announcement there. So Sonny Springer picks up 1 point, takes him on to 3. Ashton Vale has said his first 2 points of the evening. Senna Summers stays on 3 points, and Micky Simpson moves up to 7. And well, that's pretty much got himself 1 foot in the qualification for the British Under-21 final. Of course, that's what this is leading all towards at Glasgow on Sunday, June the 2nd.
Just looking here at the bottom end of the table, there are so many riders on 3 and 2 points, and this last place is anybody's going into the last round of
I could easily see us having a run off for 10th spot.
Yeah.
So we could get an extra bonus heat tonight, but we've still got 5 heats of the regular meeting to go first, and this is going to be another classic battle. Luke Killeen against Ashton BOUGHEN, and then
what happens if we have 6 riders on 4 points?
I don't even go there.
No, it could be complicated.
It could happen though.
Yeah,
it really could happen.
The way the points are at the moment.
Luke Killeen in red off gate 1, Ashton BOUGHEN in blue off gate 2, Chad Wirtzfeld in white off gate 3, Jody SCOTT in yellow off gate 4. Luke Killeen is on 7 points, and Ashton BOUGHEN is on 6 at the moment. So Luke Killeen just heading, and both of these two, if they pick up a couple of points at least
Chad
here.
In his last ride, he really did bust it all going into the bends free. So here we go.
It's a tight gate, and it's Chad Wirtzfeld who's come round the outside.
And Jody SCOTT around the outside off of gate 4.
That's incredible. Killeen is third, and BOUGHEN's at the back at the moment.
This would be a big thing for Jody. It'd be 3 big points if he can keep this going.
Ashton BOUGHEN could be vulnerable if he stays on only 6 points and 4 rides. He's going to need something from his last ride, possibly.
It's quite ironic. This gate 4 has come to its own. If you're brave enough to come off of gate 4, stick your wheels in the dirt and go down the back straight, you set yourself up brilliantly for the race.
Well, who would have predicted this with Jody SCOTT out front, Chad Wirtzfeld second, Luke Killeen putting Wirtzfeld under loads of pressure heading into turn 2 on this last lap. Is he going to go around the outside? No, he's going to peg it round the inside, but Jody SCOTT holds on for a great race win. Chad Wirtzfeld deserves that second place. Luke Killeen is third, and Ashton BOUGHEN surprisingly trailing in at the back.
Yeah, there's a very big shock result there, but it was a great battling performance from all the riders, and the two people struggling for points come up with a first and second to take it down to the final round of heats.
I think it was 55.59, so Jody SCOTT moves on to 6 points, so he's level with Ashton BOUGHEN, who's also on 6 now. Luke Killeen picked up 1 there, takes him on to 8, and the other score there, Chad Wirtzfeld, is on 4. So let's run down the... We'll come back to the score chart in a minute. We'll cross to Mattie, who's got some reaction in the pits.
So as we walk into the pits, each rider's completed the 4th set of races. I can see Jody SCOTT there just coming in after a 16 heat win. Just move my back to Jody's bike a minute. See they're conferring with Luke Killeen, who very nearly nipped second. I think another lap it would have pushed on, but looking a bit grubby still. Obviously that surface is still quite sticky in the deeper stuff, but no, the track's really providing some good racing now actually. There's a few different lines going on. We're going to nip in and see if we can catch a word with one of them, if not both of them. No, bud, alright to grab a word a minute? So we've got Luke Killeen here from Oxford. Your second time here at Plymouth. You had a really good first time here when you made your league debut. How are you finding it tonight?
Yeah, it's slick. Track conditions are, tricky, and it's a different shape to last time here. So it's definitely something new, but same old Plymouth, isn't it?
So obviously, I believe the top 10 qualified to the final. You got a race win in 3 seconds. So well, obviously in a third in that one as well. But you got to be confident that you're going to go through and progress to the final and have a good one there as well. Yeah,
let's hope. I think another nice win. Another heat win would be nice to finish off on. But yeah, don't know. Haven't spent much time at Glasgow, so that's another thing to wait for.
Are you finding the track much different? I mean, obviously, I know the track conditions are slightly different to last time you were here, but obviously, as you said, the shape's changed a bit. Are you finding that much different at all, or not?
No, not really. I mean, tonight, you have to ride the way you used to ride it, so obviously it's a bit tighter with the curb coming in, but no, same old, really.
Good. Well, good luck for the rest of the meeting, and hope the season goes well for you. Cheers. So, a word there from Luke Killeen. Very bright future with that one, the young Australian. You can see over there, Ashton. Started off well. It's kind of tinkered off a little bit, but obviously, say his first appearance here, he's only been riding, I believe, 3 years, so every meeting's really still a learning curve for him. I can see there Senna SUMMERS, son of Aaron Summers, former Edinburgh, Redcar, Oxford rider. Saying earlier, it's quite good to see a lot of old riders here with some of these youngsters, like say James Wright. We've seen Leon Flint here. Yeah, there's a fair few riders here. You can see Chad Wirtzfeld there. Bit of a mixed emotion night for Chad. He's ridden a lot more better than the points he's got actually. He started picking up a couple more points these last couple of races, but in true fairness, probably deserved a little bit more. But very entertaining style. Obviously got that pure grass track style with the leg trailing. See promoter there, Mark Phillips, talking to Neil Vatcher, who is in charge of this whole event. Obviously the Young Lions in general and Team GB on the continent. We'll see if we can grab a word with Neil in a minute. Right, Neil, all right to grab a few words?
Caught me working the schools out, man.
So obviously we've had a lot of rain today. I think if you had rung me and bet me a fiver it ain't going to be on, I probably would have accepted it. But the track's not riding too bad and the lads are putting on a good show.
Yeah, amazing job by obviously Mark Phillips and the track staff here. Exactly the same as you, Matt. I was driving down this afternoon thinking it was never going to be on. Come down here, the boys and the team done a great job. Track's been really good. Just trying to rain now, so hopefully we can get the last 4 races done, and it's going to be a really exciting finish. Just working the programme out. A lot of the boys still got some work to do to qualify, so yeah, some interesting last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite, going by the scorecard, it's quite wide open still for a few riders. They've had a few really good rides, a few off rides. But is there any riders that have sort of surprised you and adapted to the track better than... I mean, the one that sticks up for me is Freddy HODDER, obviously riding for Berwick, used to Bellevue. This is completely different to what he sort of would usually ride, but he's got a race win, a couple seconds and a third. So it's, there's a few that have sort of stood out for me.
Yeah, to be honest, I know Plymouth put the press release out earlier in the week to say it was a great lineup, and we do have some real good, young riders here, and like riders like Freddie, he's come from the motocross scene here, can ride, these type of conditions as well, probably suits him, to be fair. I think Vinnie FOORD, to be fair, just a National League rider, you're competing against, some good championship riders here. I think for me, probably Vinny's been the sort of the standout performer, and obviously Sam Hagen unbeaten, you know, looks really good too. And but yeah, you know, it's a great event. You know, these kids are obviously very young, and you know, it's a learning experience for them. You know, the different conditions, different type of track, and the word that I use all the time is experience, and it's a great experience for them.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, the way I look at it as well is with obviously you've got your Bellevues and, you know, Kingslands, your sort of immaculate tracks. But as you said, it's good for the riders to get on these sort of more tech tracks, trickier tracks where, you know, obviously here on a floodplain right next to the river, the track surface is always a little bit spongy. But no, I mean, they're all adapting very well to it, and there's been no serious offs tonight. And I think they've put on an absolutely brilliant show so far. Touch wood.
Touch wood. Yeah, touch wood. No, definitely, Matt. You know, to be honest, we've probably seen, like, you know, the live TV last night, you know, Pavlicki talking about coming back to the UK, you know, riding different types of circuits and technical tracks, you know, makes them better riders, doesn't it? You know, I think, you know, look, I take these kids to Europe, you know, often, and, you know, I wouldn't say those tracks are easy to ride, but these tracks make you a better rider. So, as I say, great learning experience for everyone. And, yeah, hopefully the last 4 races are exciting as my programme tells me it's going to be. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
No problem. Thanks for talking to us, Neil.
Cheers, guys.
So word there from Neil Vatcher. Vastly experienced team manager, ex-mechanic for Craig Boyce, I believe. Team manager for the Bournemouth Buccaneers for a spell with Gary May. Obviously our own Gary May, who's team manager here for the Gladiators now. As we venture back down to the pits, I see a few bike changes going on. I see Gary Ford there, Vinny's dad. Looks like he's dropped a link off the back, so he's shortened the bike up a little bit just to get that extra drive. I think the only downfall with tonight is gate 1 seems to be fairly heavy, and I think a lot of riders are sort of getting caught out in that. So these sort of gear changes and making the bike a bit more aggressive from the starts and stuff is going to be key, especially if you find yourself landed on gate 1. I see Freddy HODDER doing very much the same, a sprocket change, maybe shortening the bike up just to make it that little bit more punchy. But no, I mean, there's a little bit of drizzle in the air now. Not too much. I don't think it's really going to cause any issues. Obviously, the track hasn't been as it usually would tonight, and everyone's adapted well, so I don't think this little bit of drizzle we've got coming down is going to put them off much. See Mark Phillips there talking to Lee Trigger, obviously father of Ben Trigger. We'll see if we can grab a word with Ben a minute, actually. Right, buddy, welcome back. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. You know, could do with a bit of better weather, but you know, is what it is. Yeah, but yeah, I'm enjoying being back.
So obviously the change to red car in Middlesbrough this year. I think it's like a 750-mile round trip, something like that. Are you looking forward to that every week?
It's not the best, obviously. You know, it's a fair old trek, but yeah, obviously red car. It's a good track and a good promotion up there. So you know, I'm being treated well and you know enjoying my time there so far, and obviously looking forward to spending the rest of the year with them.
So obviously you've had your last 2 seasons here at National League and Championship. What's your hopes? Obviously you've moved now to red car in Middlesbrough. What do you want to sort of progress with now? You want to try and get like a spot in Premiership maybe next year as like a rising star or something like that?
Yeah, obviously you know the progression ladder is always the way up. So but you know this year's focus into next year is just you know increasing my average, getting more consistent, and you know just getting as many bike time laps I can. So yeah, obviously Premiership might be a couple of years time, but obviously everything's on the way up, and it's going well for me so far.
Good, we'll keep it up, and good luck for the rest of the meeting, buddy. So word there from Ben Trigger, obviously a local lad, lives about 5 minutes drive from the track. Obviously a Gladiator last year and a Centurion the season before that. I would say he probably doesn't mind the 750-mile round trip because he rides abroad quite a lot, so he's got a nice big van with a bed in, so travelling's not one thing the Trigger family mind. It looks like we're getting back to racing, so I will pass you back to Nigel and Ben up in comms.
Thank you ever so much, Matty. 2 minutes on for Heat 17, and we have got a clear top 10 at the moment going into the last 4 races. Sam Hagen on 12, it's Ben Trigger on 10, Vinnie FOORD on 9, Freddy HODDER and Luke Killeen on 8 apiece, Micky SIMPSON and Luke Harrison on 7, and then it's Ashton BOUGHEN, Max James and Jody SCOTT on 6. So at the moment they're the top 10. Then it drops 2 points to Wirtzfeld on 4, then Senna SUMMERS, Sam McGURK and Sonny SPRINGER on 3, and Stene PIJPER and Ashton VALE on 2. So it's up to Chad Wirtzfeld to close that gap and nip into the top 10.
It just goes to show, you know, it's about scoring points in every ride in this competition, and the people who have found themselves at the bottom of the table have failed to do so. So this will be a big heat here, because if Jody Scott scores a couple of points, it puts him out of reach of Chad Wirtzfeld, so that'll find himself qualified through to the British final. Should be a great race, this one, with top two in the current standings facing each other. Sam Hagen against Ben Trigger. Hagen, of course, 12 points from his 4 rides unbeaten. Ben Trigger has won 3 of his 4 rides to be on 10 points. And then you chuck into the mix Jody Scott on 6 and Micky Simpson on 7. They'll just be looking to get another point or two just to guarantee their top 10 position. But they should be all right based on what we've got so far. So the lineup in red in gate 1 is Sam Hagen on 12 points. Ben Trigger in blue on gate 2 on 10 points. Jody Scott in white in gate 3 on 6 points. And it's Micky Simpson in yellow in the outside gate, and he's on 7 points. The raid is coming down quite steadily now. I must just reiterate what Neil Vatcher has said. The boys have done a great job, like the riders, getting on with this. These conditions aren't perfect, aren't ideal, but the rain is falling now, and they're still out there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So it's great. Here we go for the last block of 4, starting with heat 17. Sam Hagen again gates beautifully, but it's in white is Jody Scott, and Micky Simpson comes around the outside of Ben Trigger. Oh, and Simpson has fallen there, and Ben Trigger thankfully has avoided him. Yeah, but well done there to He's Micky Simpson picking up and getting off the track and allowing the race to continue. Jody Scott just getting in a little bit of bother there. It's a little bit difficult going in. The conditions are looking difficult now, aren't they? Yeah, it is. And this is when you've really got to use your head. You've got to come in with the bars and keep good throttle control. So, well, it's almost survival out there at the moment. Sam Hagen is almost half a lap ahead. Yeah, but if you watch Sam, he's coming in with the bars really low, like I'm saying, and riding a really sensible race. And that's a great 3 point to 5 ride maximum for Sam Hagen to win the British Under-21 qualifier down here at Plymouth. So he's repeated his success of last season, Sam Hagen, winning this meeting with a 15 point maximum. Second was Jody Scott. Third was Ben Trigger there. To my calculations, that's put Jody Scott through to the British Under-21 final and Ben Trigger. So it is getting all tight at the bottom now, because Micky Simpson failing to score, he could be caught. Just watching the replay back and seeing Micky Simpson just come off there, and thankfully Ben Trigger managed to avoid him. So Jody Scott, yeah, he goes on to what have we got? 3, 5, 8 points. 2 brilliant last rides from him, you know, to hopefully cement himself. Well, he has cemented himself into the British Under-21 final. Yeah, I think all 4 of those men are going to be through. So Luke Killeen is out in this one. Freddy HODDER 2 more. This could be vital for podium places this heat. But like you say, with 2 people on 8 points here, a win would shoot either of them up to 11 points, and they both have looked exciting in tonight's meeting. And HODDER would have, if he won this one, then he'd have 3 race wins and a second, which would put him ahead of Ben Trigger, I think, who's got 3 race wins and 2 third places. That's correct. So HODDER certainly in the mix. Let's look at the lineup. Late in red is Luke Killeen in gate 1. In gate 2 in blue, Stene PIJPER. In gate 3 in white is Freddy HODDER. And in yellow in gate 4 is Sonny SPRINGER. So Springer is on 3 points, Piper's on 2. So Stene PIJPER can't force his way into the top 10, but if Sonny SPRINGER did spring a shock here, then he could possibly get up to 6 points and challenge those people who are in sort of the bottom placings in the top 10 at the moment. You know, the track is, you know, the rain is falling heavier now. I'm just looking at there, and this wasn't forecast at all. No, it wasn't forecast at all. I mean, they've had a lot of rain during the day, but it was due to pass. But the boys are out there battling hard, and here they are at the start line. So here we go. Heat number 18. And it's
Freddy HODDER out front, Luke Killeen nipping up the inside into second place. Sonny SPRINGER is third, and at the back is Stene PIJPER. So as things stand here, Freddy HODDER will leapfrog Ben Trigger in the standings.
Yeah, and he's riding it superbly, you know, coming in with the motor on, which I didn't think they would be doing at this stage of the rain, and looking really good out front. Luke Killeen settled in there for second place, and as I say that, he nearly turns it around coming into the pits. Ben keeps control of it great and looking good for 2 points.
Yeah, HODDER really showing no fears for the track despite the rain falling in it. Just had that one blip, didn't he, where he came last. Apart from that, he's looked immaculate tonight.
Yeah, he's looked really good, and you know, he was one of the first ones to make use of the outside line, and he's looked really impressed me tonight.
Freddy HODDER, the winner in white, second in red, Luke Killeen, as it becomes impossible to write on the
I
programme
was
anymore.
going to say to you, I've give up writing on my programme, because with the rain that's fell on my page, it's just a bit of a mess now. It's more like paper mache.
Let's just watch the great Freddy HODDER out front there.
Oh, getting some lift there, putting it on the back wheel, but then using great throttle control to get it back under control and still take the lead and keep the 3 points.
So that puts HODDER on 11, Killeen on 10, SPRINGER on 4, and Stene PIJPER obviously in that one remains on 2. So it still remains those top 10 at the moment that we mentioned before going through. But there's a couple here, this will be interesting, because Ashton BOUGHEN, he's on 6 points, he should be safe on 6.
Yeah, but it's just one of them things, you know, Chad Wirtzfeld is lurking there in heat 20 off a gate 4 where he'll want to be on 4 points.
Yeah, so Ashton BOUGHEN needs
a couple of points to find himself safe.
Definitely. What a massive shock that would be if Ashton BOUGHEN didn't finish in the top 10.
No, I mean, Ashton has looked good.
So heat 19. In red in gate 1 is Ashton VALE. In blue in gate 2 is Max James. In white in gate 3 is Sam McGURK. And in yellow in gate 4 is Ashton BOUGHEN. And it's, yeah, the rain's still coming down, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just looking there and it is coming down. So the idea now is to ride on the edge of the dirt because it's not very slippery and it'll be the way you can get the best traction. Got a delay here, Sam McGURK not overly happy where he had to go in the start line. But they're very, very close, them boys. If you look at it,
so it's VALE, James, McGURK and BOUGHEN as we read our way across the start line. Max James has gated really well there. Ashton BOUGHEN going around the outside of him brilliantly there to take the lead, and that will surely will secure his place in the top 10, but Max James gated first there. Nice piece of riding by BOUGHEN.
yeah, exactly what I said. Get your wheels on the edge of the dirt and it'll be the easiest and the safest way round. Ashton BOUGHEN looking great out front. He kind of had a bit of a lull in the middle of the meeting, but back to looking how he started the meeting, great out in front.
So BOUGHEN comfortably out in front. Max James, he'll know that those 2 points will see him safely through, takes him on to 8 points. And the 2 men at the back, McGURK and Ashton VALE, well, they won't be making it through to the final, but they picked up points tonight. Sam McGURK will take his total to 4 with this. So it is BOUGHEN who takes the checkered flag, Max James in blue in second, it's Sam McGURK in white in third, and Ashton VALE trailing in the back in red. So Ashton VALE finishes the night on 2 points, Sam McGURK finishes on 4 points, and then it's Max James who's on 8 points, and Ashton BOUGHEN finishes on 9 points.
We've got the...
Watch the start again. As I said, Max James gated very well here.
But if you look what Ashton does, he doesn't really turn. He leaves himself go to the outside, picks up the dirt and down the back straight.
Comes around the outside really nicely there. So we're rattling on with the last heat, and of course it's all about Chad Wirtzfeld really here. He's on 4 points.
I'm just trying to work out what the other people have got here, and it's quite hard.
So just seeing who we can. I'm not sure he can catch anyone now.
No,
can he?
I'm not too sure he can.
I think it's.
It'll be interesting to see when we get all of the.
He could get up to 7 along with Micky SIMPSON.
Yeah, and also depending on what Luke Harrison does, he could join him on 7. So it could be.
So in red, in gate 1 is Senna SUMMERS. Blue in gate 2, Vinnie FOORD. In white, gate 3, Luke Harrison. And that man, Chad Wirtzfeld, is in yellow off gate 4. So yeah, if he could win this, he puts him on 7 points along with Micky SIMPSON. As you said, Luke Harrison also in this one is on 7 at the moment.
Chad really has impressed me tonight. He's been really getting stuck in every heat, and he was unlucky really in one of the points, in one of the races, to fall off trying to make a pass for 2nd place. So this could have been a lot closer.
More familiar on grass track in recent seasons than on shale, but let's see what happens here. SUMMERS, FOORD, Harrison and Wirtzfeld. FOORD is leading out from Luke Harrison. Wirtzfeld's is 3rd. He's got some work to do here.
Yeah, definitely. He didn't really make a great fistful at the start, but out front is Vinnie FOORD looking very stylish. Luke Harrison in 2nd place as well. But Chad won't throw the towel in. He will have a go, but it's just not making ground on the 2 boys in front.
So this should wrap up our top 10. I don't think we're going to need any run-offs for the decide the 10th place. It's pretty much as it was after the 4 rides each. And it's going to be Vinnie FOORD who's Neil Vatcher picked him out as his standout man tonight.
He's looking very good
and
though.
I wouldn't disagree with that. He's been outstanding.
No, he's coming in, keeping the revs on. He can't be far from finding himself a podium. He wouldn't be far off the podium, I don't believe.
I think that's put him on the podium. I think that's put him on to 12 points. So Vinnie FOORD winning that one. Luke Harrison was 2nd, Chad Wirtzfeld 3rd, and Senna SUMMERS at the back. So we'll get confirmation, but I make it that Sam Hagen has won the meeting, obviously with 15 points. I think Vinnie FOORD is now slotted in to 2nd on 12, and then we've got 2 riders on 11, Freddy HODDER and Ben Trigger. And Freddy HODDER, by virtue of 3 race wins, I would think is 3rd, with Ben Trigger 4th. That's the way my reading is. We'll get confirmation. Then you've got Luke Killeen on 10, Luke Harrison on 9, Max James on 8, Jody SCOTT on 8, Ashton BOUGHEN on 9. Sorry, I missed him out. And I think and Micky SIMPSON on 7. I think that's the qualifiers.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it was a great performance from all the 16 guys. I know the reserves didn't get a ride, but it was a great meeting. Everybody's going home safe, and they've done a great job for British Youth Speedway.
So just to clarify the 1st, 2nd and 3rd in that one. Sorry, I've got to look back through my wet programme. So it was Vinnie FOORD in blue in 1st place, Luke Harrison in white in 2nd, Chad Wirtzfeld in yellow in 3rd, and Senna SUMMERS was at the back in red.
We was just going over.
Yeah, just go over what we just said a minute ago. Sam Hagen has won the meeting on 15 points. Vinnie FOORD 2nd on 12. Freddy HODDER, we think, is 3rd on 11, ahead of Ben Trigger on countback. It's Trigger. They both won 3 races, but Freddy HODDER
had the 2nd place.
Had 2nd place. Yeah. So we'll get some sort of presentation out on the centre green. The podium is all set up. The trophies have been donated by the Plymouth supporters group, the Bar Bandits, over on the 2nd bend there tonight, getting nice and wet at the moment as we are. The rain, we've got this meeting done just in time, haven't we, Ben? It's coming down quite steadily.
Coming down quite heavily and steady now. But I just want to say the track held up fantastic tonight under the pressure it's had of the rain over the last few days. But the surface looks top notch, so it's great. And all looking forward to the Saturday's meeting against Oxford.
That's right, back here at the Plymouth Gladiators in BSN Series action. Obviously ran Oxford incredibly close up at Sandy Lane. It's
a bit of a controversial ending to that one, but that's not for me to discuss any further.
Dan Thompson probably felt a bit aggrieved. So, yeah, as we were just saying, BSN Series on Saturday, Plymouth Gladiators against the Oxford Cheetahs. It's a live stream. That one's on BSN, the British Speedway Network. You can listen to that one. Like a lot of tracks at the start of this
Sam
season.
very happy with himself with his 5 rides, 5 wins.
It's just going up to the podium.
Vinnie FOORD, Freddy HODDER, Luke Killeen.
Yeah, it's the 1, 2, 3 as we said, isn't it? I think
yeah,
Vinnie FOORD, Sam Hagen, and Freddy HODDER. Ben Trigger just missing out.
Vinnie FOORD and Freddy HODDER really impressed me tonight. They've really attacked the track. I mean, I know Sam has had 5 races, 5 wins, but the other 2 guys have really attacked it and done better than I expected them to do. So good performances.
Well, Sam Hagen, as I said, has retained his British Under-21 semi-final title, if there is such a thing. It's winning up at Workington last season. Ben Trigger was second that afternoon, and Freddy HODDER just going up to get his 3rd place trophy. And they really are glad their meeting's over. It's really lashing down here at the Coliseum. It's hard to believe it's May tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I'm then thinking the same. It's absolutely thumping down now. It's a good job we got this meeting finished.
We've had local football matches called off tonight due to waterlogged pitches, which again is credit to Mark Phillips and the track staff here. For normally, if you get football rained off, you're guaranteed to have Speedway rained off. So anyway, we're going to call a halt to proceedings here. The trophy presentation is going on. Thank you ever so much for joining us tonight. Thank you ever so much, Ben, for your excellent contribution as always. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. But a fantastic night for Sam Hagen. He's won the meeting with a 15-point maximum. He'll be leading the 10 qualifiers through to the British Under-21 final at Glasgow next month. A very good evening from all of us.